Alrighty guys, I appreciate everybody taking time to consider my latest offering here on Bring a Trailer. We have a 2001 C4, super cool car with the best wheels, in my opinion. Big 3 done, IMS clutch, rear main seal, like last week. So this is going to be an important video, and I really hope everybody who's genuinely interested in the car watches it, because I'm going to talk about a few things, I'm going to point out a few things, and if you watch this and you listen to my narration, which by the way is 100% unscripted, it will answer a lot of questions, tons of questions. And then we're also going to do a walk around, of course, and we're going to use my admittedly cheap and uncalibrated paint meter from Amazon. And basically, I wouldn't conduct scientific experiments with it, but it will tell us if we have had paint work done with a high degree of certainty. So to kick things off, we're going to do a top operation. We're going to go up, we're going to go down, we're going to go up. So the Carfax does show an incident to the top a couple years ago, and the top is new with a glass window, which is super cool. My guess is that maybe the top was damaged. I don't know, way before I owned the car, obviously, and the owner had the top replaced using insurance, right? And they updated the top at that time, so that's a good usage of an insurance incident. If that's what happened, again, it's a guess. I don't know that for a fact. It's strictly a guess. All right, so here we go with the top op. So kind of like most of the P cars I sell on Bring a Trailer, this is a driver. I don't really get into the garage queens with 10,000 miles on them. That's not my thing. It's not my niche. It's not my market, and I am 100% okay with that. So the taillights actually have no cracks in them, which is kind of amazing. Also, interesting fact on the engine, and this was maybe it was an early production 01 or late production 2000, and they dubbed it a 2001, or maybe they just had an extra dual row engine sitting on the shelf, but this actually carries a double row IMS, which is interesting fun fact. Also interesting fun fact, the driver's side, so I guess that would be the passenger side exhaust, the driver's side muffler tip is gundo hacked, the passenger side tip is not, which I don't know It was obviously done a while ago. You can tell by the rust on it. Okay, yeah, let's talk about the rust. So you look at the Carfax, you know, I'm not trying to not talk about it. Let's talk about it. The car has some rust on it. You can see it plain as day, not trying to hide it. My guy did the IMS service, clutch, etc. He did not report that any bolts were rounded or anything was affected to the point where he could not work on the vehicle. So I would call the rust situation manageable and nominal, but it is there. It is 100% there. You know, it's spent. Look at the Carfax. It's spent its life up north. I bought it out of Ohio. You know, let's talk about it. Let's get it out there. Let's make sure everybody is fully aware of the situation, so we're all on the same page with the car. All right, moving on. The wheels are all in really good shape. They have some imperfections on these wheels. What I see more often is the finish on the exterior chrome. So you have the two-piece, right? You got the one piece, you get the two-piece. This piece tends to tarnish. Like, you see that right there? That's like a tarnish. That is happening on pretty much every one of the wheels, but they still look, I mean, I love these wheels. They are incredible. Yeah, so let's start our paint meters. So we're gonna start on the right, whoa, that's my finger, sorry. We're gonna start on the right rear quarter, and we are in mils, which is where you want to be. All right, driver's rear quarter, 5.4, good there. Moving up to the door, 5, check. Driver's door, 5, good. Front of the driver's door, 3. Driver's fender, 1. If anything, that's a little thin. 2. All right, hood, really hard to see because of the angle. Trust me on this one, it is a 1. Hood, it is a 2. Again, funny angle. That is a 1, 2. All right, so the hood is good. I had the headlights refinished. They look like absolute glass. They are Litronics. Big plus. We're just demonstrating all the bulbs, hazards, blinkers, etc. are functional. Again, same thing on the right front wheel. We have a little tarnish here on the exterior ring. I guess it's the material that was used. Don't know details, of course, when these wheels were produced. I got the AC going, which is the excessive condensation under the car, and the windshield heavily condensated. Okay, so let's talk about the front bumper. You know, I can't tell if it was painted. It's possible. When you're in person looking at it with me standing here, the color matches. You know, it's really hard to tell any difference, but when on some of the pictures I looked at, it looks like there's a color, there's a shade difference. It could be the way the paint fades on metal versus plastic. It is possible the bumper was painted. Of course, we can't do paint meters on plastic. You know, like in this angle, right here, I would agree, it looks like the bumper is a lot lighter than the car. But it could also be the sun coming up, because then when you walk over here, it doesn't look that bad. Or it looks fine, actually. And when you're in person, meaning me standing here looking at it, not through my phone, it's really hard to, I didn't even truthfully notice until I started taking the pictures. And then I was like, whoa, I think the bumper maybe was painted. But again, I mean, 01, like, yeah, it's possible, you know, like, it's not the end of the world. Maybe they bumped something, maybe they just want to have it refinished for rock chips. Really hard to tell at this point. Okay, we're on the passenger fender, 6. All right, good there. 8, okay, 10. Maybe paintwork here. Possible. 10 isn't completely outside the realm. But then we're 6, 7, 6, 7 right front. Okay, then we're on the, so maybe we have paintwork behind the gas door, but maybe not. Hard to tell. Okay, then we're on the door. We're at 4.3, so we're good there. We're at 4.3, 3.6, 5, 3. Let's make sure we have a good surface connection. 3 on the door, good there. 2 on the quarter. 2, 3 on the quarter. So the only thing that was a little high was right here, but it still was in the realm of acceptable because we were in mills, and a mill is super, super, super thin. So maybe behind the gas door there was paintwork, but maybe not. So we have the glass rear window here. Super good. So as a side note, the defrost. So because this came with a plastic window, the defrost button on the inside was utilized for having a hard top. So there is no defrost for the. I mean, it has it, right? So they do have defrost lines, but there is no hookup. The card isn't set up for the defrost function. So yeah, so there you go. All right, so what else do we need to demonstrate? We're gonna demonstrate the spoiler going up. I don't know if we can see it, maybe. Yeah, there we go, up. Down. Then we're gonna pop the front. We're gonna pop the engine. Check. We're gonna pop the front. Check. Obviously, we don't have any ticking. Great cold start, no smoke, no signs of any of the bore score, which everybody likes to talk about these days. I've noticed the conversation has shifted away from the IMS, and everybody wants to talk about bore score. Everybody. So basically, my understanding with bore score, if you don't have smoke, you don't have ticking, you're good. General rule of thumb. That's kind of what I've always, that's what I've operated under. And furthermore, if I thought for a second any one of my cars had bore score, they would not be on Bring a Trailer. I would not put myself or Bring a Trailer in that position to sell one like that. So we got full leather interior, door panels, great shape. You always need to look at the top, make sure they're not sun-baked. We have the comfort seats, which gives us lumbar. So it's really hard to see. Take my word for it, lumbar works. It's just hard to see as you, I mean, I can see it, but it might be hard for you guys. All of the seat levels or the seat functions work. A lot of times, 1 or 2 of them won't. The cables get broken, the cables get knocked out of place, etc. All of these seats work properly. The window drop down works like it's supposed to. Important thing to note. They can be a pain to, well, they're not a pain to fix. You have to do regulator. I've done a lot of regulators. Driver door, everything is good there as far as the leather goes. Oh, the AC feels good. Actually, it feels too good. We're gonna turn it down and turn off the hazards and turn off the lights. Okay, so I did thermometer readings, but you can obviously tell the AC is on point because of this condensation we have. And with that, we're gonna check the wipers. Look at that. Wipers check. Check the horn. Horn check. Okay. Windows. Always check the quarter windows. I can do them pretty quickly. Most people have to go to a shop. They are pretty expensivo. But you do a few of them, they get easier. So obviously we're at temp. No messages. Oil pressure is good. Battery voltage is good. Water temp is good. We did our lights. All of our hinges are in good shape, or the door handles, I should say. The cubby hinges are in good shape. Nothing is broken. Nothing is falling apart. Okay, it might be a little hard to see because of the condensation. We're gonna do our mirrors. There you go, you can see the mirror moving. We're gonna do our mirror check. All right. Let's see, turn signals, horn. Oh yeah, so it has an early onboard computer. Not that that really matters. You just leave it on temp, probably the way to go. We did our wipers, cruise control. I've used it, it works. Take my word for that one. The key, okay. The key fobber does work, which is nice because a lot of them don't. And it's not something that people check. And it's a big pain in the butt because if you lock it with the key and then you unlock it with the key, the alarm goes off. Oh, it's annoying. Everyone's looking at you funny because your alarm's going off. So locks, let's see, sometimes. Okay, I think that's because it's running. Or I think because I just locked it. So I locked it inside the car. I think the car got confused because I was in the car when I locked it. I don't want to pull the door handle because the alarm's going to go off. All right. We're going to leave that alone before I start. That thing's going crazy. There we go. Okay, locks. Check. So don't lock the car with the fob when you're sitting in it. I don't even know why I did that. All right, we covered defrost. We did the top, PSM. I think you have to be moving to turn that off. Not that you would want to turn it off. Stereo, aftermarket, of course. Everything is good there. Bluetooth mic. Climate, everything is good here. Screen is nice and crisp, no pixels. All of our functions work properly. Shifting is great, no second gear issues, everything is perfect. It does have an ashtray delete, which is nice, give a little more extra storage down there. E-braking gauge is right where it should. Ashtray, or the hot lighter, looks like it's never been used. Last thing I want to talk about, and we'll bring this to a close, the dash. So it has the leather dash, right? Is starting to shrink a little bit. It's not bad, but you can see some very slight ripples. Now, I can change the dash pretty quick. I'm not afraid of doing it. I didn't on this particular one because I didn't have a black leather dash, and I have a lot going on, and it was strictly cosmetic, so I did not address it. If whoever wins the auction wants to have a discussion about sourcing a dash and me putting it in, I'll do it for no labor. We can talk about that. I won't charge labor to replace the dash. But to me, for this car, for the condition, I'd call it, you know, like a B+ driver, it doesn't really bother me. But because I can do these pretty quickly, if the buyer wanted to utilize my experience on doing this, and I'd be willing to donate my time. That would be no problem, and we can definitely have that discussion. Or you can just not worry about it. So there you go. I wanted to point that out. But again, it's not terrible. Like if you're over here driving, you're driving the car, you don't even really notice it. It doesn't take away from enjoying the vehicle, is what I'm getting at. But you know, if we want to have that discussion, by all means, we can talk about it and see if we can work something out. That will be between me and whoever owns wins the auction. All right, guys. I hope I answered all questions. I really tried to. Sometimes I do miss a thing or two, not very often. The driver's cover, Dawn. Of course, these are offered. You can get knockoffs on Amazon or eBay that clip in there. If that really bothers you. And I can't see where I'm going. Normally I do a little drive here in the car. You see the spoiler light, that stuff's going off. It comes on when you crank it as like a checky check. Well, I need to do pictures of the top. So I can't quite go drive it yet. Okay, we will cover that with the driving video. Alright guys, there you go. If you got questions, just let me know. And thank you.